guys, since I'm going to be doing a segment on the finance side, particularly talking about the share price and thinking that it might rally over the next few weeks, I want to get my YouTube disclaimers out of the way to keep me out of YouTube jail. So none of my statements or content constitute professional advice. Viewers that follow any advice, instructions, or suggestions do so at their own risk. And of course, that's the way it has to be because, you are responsible for your actions and your choices. But thanks for tuning in, and we'll hop right into it. Hello, everyone, and welcome to my Ocean One channel. I am in the kitchen, so there might be a little background noise. My wife's putting up some dishes and things like that. I just finished helping her, but she's finishing up. And I wanted to go ahead and do this. I wanted to go over the top 10 things that I think might cause the share price to rise. And it might cause the share price to rise in dramatic fashion. Now, I'm not talking Monday morning. I'm not talking, this coming week. But I am talking over potentially the next, let's say, 1 to 4 weeks. I do think that there is a strong potential for a run on the stock. Now, I'm not going to try to pick a number, okay? We're 37 cents. So, if we got up to $1 or $2, at this point, that's a good day. We've been beat to death. But I'm going to go over what I think should be the beginning of a consolidation in the stock and then an upward trajectory. So I actually have these numbered. And I sat down and I did this just like 2 minutes ago, and I told my wife, I said, I think I should do a video over this. And number one is simply getting the 10K done. We all know that we have been decimated from the note holder. And that was a direct result of not filing our 10Q on time. And that opened up the door for the note holder to just be able to dilute the daylights out of us. And that's exactly what's been happening. So we do know from Fisker that we should expect our 10K to be filed by March the 15th or prior. March the 15th is a Friday, so any day this week is potentially any day that the 10K should be filed. Or, it might be Friday evening. In traditional Fisker fashion, it may be Friday evening, and then we get a message Friday evening saying, that we did it. But I do think that is a very good potential catalyst for the stock. I think everybody's waiting for the 10K to drop. I know I am, because I think that that's going to stop the dilution. We have almost doubled our shares in 1 quarter prior to where we were. We've issued basically 250 million shares in an extremely short period of time, and that has been dramatically hurtful to the share price. So once we get the 10K filed, that should stem the bleeding, consolidate the stock, and hopefully start a rise in the share price. The second thing that could dramatically rally the stock is confirmation of the Nissan partnership. Now, right now, it's just rumors. That's really all we have to go with. Now, Reuters did come out. You had 2 people that were anonymous, and they seem to have a very strong grasp of what was potentially happening. But that deal has to be finalized, and we have to see what that deal looks like. So that could potentially be another rally in the stock price. Now, the third thing is going right along with the Nissan partnership, investment, buying our IP, however you want to word that. But that comes with money. And the number that Reuters used was 400 million. Is that right? I don't know. I mean, nobody knows. But, potentially, let's just say $500 million. If that were to turn out to be true, and most or all of that money could be used for general corporate purposes, we have just added a massive cushion to our cash situation. So I think that would definitely rally the stock. How much? Anybody's guess. We may have a 50% day or 100% day. Fisker has traditionally not held its gains, but that's a direct result of the market getting flooded with shares from the note holder too. So we have to keep that in in the back of our mind. So if Nissan were to make a large investment in Fisker, and it has a pretty substantial money back into it, then that has the potential to definitely rally the stock. So that's my first three, and then we'll look at number four. Number four is just, it's kind of out there in left field, but I don't think it's too far-fetched. I think if you think about Nissan and them making an investment into Fisker, I don't see it being far-fetched for Nissan dealers to sign up in much stronger fashion than we would ever get under any other circumstances. Heck, Nissan might even push for it. Corporate Nissan might push for it. There could definitely be some synergies there as far as marketing, and things like that, and just strengthening the alliance between the two and showing, that we're both backing each other. So that has the potential to, if that were to come true, now that's a shot in the dark, but if that were to come true, then I think that would definitely rally the stock in addition to my first three. The next thing that has the potential to rally the stock is number five. And that is simply Fisker being able to move all of its 2023 Oceans. Now, it's unclear to me how many Ocean 1s we have left over and how many Extremes we have left over. But those are 2023s. Personally, I was saying this back, 6 months ago, that I was thinking it was a mistake for Fisker not to turn 2023s into 2024s. Now, maybe that's more complicated than, I'm aware of, I simply don't know. Maybe that's something that they couldn't do. But, it would have been a lot easier to get rid of Oceans, as a model year of 2024 than 2023. Now, right now, Fisker is giving a $7,500 discount on the Ocean 1s and the Extremes. And in my opinion, that is a screaming deal on an Extreme. I would, if I didn't already have an Ocean 1, I would jump on an Extreme in a heartbeat because, you're getting down, my goodness, you're getting down $53,000, $54,000 for an Extreme for a leftover 2023. So, hopefully Fisker can move those, and that would be potentially very good for the stock if Fisker can get all of those moved in Q1. Because I don't think Fisker really wants to carry over 2023 Oceans into the second quarter of 2024. Okay, my wife just brought me a cup of coffee. That says 50, the ultimate F word, and that was a present from my sister when I turned 50. Now, I'm 51 now, but that was a present from my sister. Another thing, number six, that has the potential to dramatically rally the stock is insider purchases. Now, we've not had any insider purchases since basically Fisker was $20 a share. That's the last time that the board of directors, purchased shares. And none of you are going to know this, I don't think, unless you're on StockTwist. But I actually pushed for Fisker to buy shares back then. And that was actually one of my questions on the Say platform. And I think that pushed the board into purchasing shares. And then we haven't seen any insider purchases since then, except one time when Henrik and Gita both purchased shares, which I think was around the $8 or $9 range, which now, was probably a year and a half ago, a long time. So we do know, though, that Fisker is in a blackout period. We do know that, okay? Henrik has told us that's public knowledge. And with the potential Nissan deal, if that gets announced and that gets out of the way, they could potentially have a very good window there to purchase shares. Now, maybe not. They still may be restricted, but I hope not. And if they are not restricted, I hope they light it up at these levels and show the market that they have confidence in their own company. Because from my experience, nothing speaks louder than insider purchases, other than great execution. But insider purchases, that's putting your money where your mouth is. So that could dramatically rally the stock. Number 7 is continued strong dealers signing up. If we can continue dealers to keep signing up, in a strong fashion. Now, I'm not talking, 5 a day or 10 a day. I'm talking, 2 or 3 a week. because one dealer is not one location. One dealer could be 5 locations, 10 locations, 15 locations. So, let's not be confused there. But a strong presence of the dealers continuing to sign up. And if we get the Nissan partnership, then, or the Nissan investment, maybe I should say, for me, it's unclear how to word that currently. I think that would provide a strong incentive for other dealers to sign up, because I think if we get the Nissan deal, then I think people will no longer look at Fisker as a bankruptcy issue. I think that will simply be removed. So that could potentially drive the stock higher. Now, number 8, continuing with the dealers, when a dealer signs up, you're not talking 1 ocean or 2 oceans or 5 oceans or 10 oceans. You're probably talking in the range of 20 to 25, maybe 50 to 60. Possibly even 100. So, if these dealerships are signing up in strong numbers, then we get to deliver those, we get to count those as cash, and we get that turnover rate, from them buying the oceans, because it's not like it used to be. When we drop the dealers off in ocean, Fisker is getting paid. So Fisker should become very efficient at getting oceans to dealerships. And if that happens, in a pretty strong fashion, and we see that growth, then that has the potential to rally the stock as well. Now, number 9 is a personal favorite of mine. I would really, very much so, like to see Fisker hire a dedicated COO. I've been very public about this. I don't have anything against Geeta. I just think that she needs help. I think Fisker's growing. I think the roles there need separated, the CFO and the COO. I think they need separated. And I think it would be very wise of Fisker to bring in a dedicated COO that can run a tight ship and offer, suggestions to Henrik and Geeta and say, hey, we're going to get it done, and this is how we're going to get it done. I think that would rally the stock in a major way, if it happens. Now, number 10 is kind of a standout by itself, because there's 2 things in my experience that causes stocks to rally on fundamentals. One is strong execution, almost flawless execution, if you will. And so far, Fisker's execution has been lacking in a major way. It seems like every target they make, every promise they make, they eventually get there, but they never meet it by the target. They're slow, they're delayed. What I would really like to see in 2024 is for Fisker to execute extremely well. I would just love to see that. Now, if you were to add up 1 through 9, mix it up, make a nice cake, I think that gets us there, But number 10 is one that I would personally like to see. I'm tired of missing targets. I want to see Fisker start hitting targets, meeting targets. But more importantly, I want Fisker to start beating targets. I would love to see that. So this wraps up my top 10 reasons for you to potentially invest in Fisker. I think these are things that could very well play out for Fisker. There are no guarantees, though. None of these may come true. But if they do, and if they follow in a similar order to what I have put here, which I think is the most likely order, I think, 37 cents could be a far cry, say, a month from now. I think the share price will look dramatically different a month from now, and 2 months from now, and 3 months from now. But what I really expect to happen is I expect Fisker to almost be a Carvana 2.0 and rally big in the second half of the year. If, and I have to stress if Fisker executes well. So that's what we're really looking for. All right, guys, until next time, and thanks for watching.